Hey everybody, Jocelyn and I are just on the, oh, you're in the sun there, baby. Come over this way. There we go. Jocelyn and I are just on our way into the quilt show. We're in Punta Gorda, Florida. I'm not sure who's putting this one on, but by the time this video posts, we will have that information for you. So we're going to go inside and see what we can find. Hey everybody, it is the next day. By the time we finished at the quilt show yesterday, I'm a little windblown today. By the time we finished at the quilt show yesterday, went and had lunch and went and did our running around, and I got Jocelyn back here. I was totally exhausted. So I didn't get back to doing this. Now, I did have a small haul that I'll show you about. I'll tell you a little bit more about the quilt show first. So this one was called the 16th Biennial Gathering of Quilts. They host this every other year. And then there's another local quilt guild that hosts every other year. So they take turns. And this was Friday and Saturday, the 13th and the 14th, in Punta Gorda, Florida. It was $10 to get in, pretty standard. I think it's always pretty much about that. It was $15 if we did 2 days, but we didn't. It was hosted by the Disconnected Pieces Quilt Guild, which is in Port Charlotte, Florida. They meet the third Tuesday of every month, except December. I don't know what day they meet on December, or if they just don't meet on December. It might be too close to Christmas. So I did pick up some fat quarters. The first one was these. This was 3 of these. This was from the Ritzy Quilting Company, and she is, I don't remember where she said she was. ritzyquilting@yahoo.com is email. ritzyquilting.com is her email, is her website. There it is. I'll put her link. Her fat quarters were only $1.75, which I thought was very, very reasonable. And also, so I got this one. This is going to actually be the lining to a bag I'm getting ready to make. I have some gifted remnants of some faux leopard print fur. So I'm going to use this for the lining of that bag. And then I got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I figured I had a bunch of stuff that I could probably mix with this to make a donation quilt. And I have a thing for butterflies in pink, so I did grab this one. And like I said, these were $1.75 each. Not a big purchase, but a little bit. Now, when you look at the pictures of the quilts, that I took, I didn't take pictures of all the quilts because that would have just been silly. I just took the ones that we really liked, that Jocelyn and I really liked. But when you go through it, there's one that is actually in a booth, and it's Johnny Depp. It's Johnny Depp from, I want to say, Pirates of the Caribbean. You'll know it when you see it. We were walking through the booths, and Jocelyn says, "Oh, that's Johnny Depp." And we were really close to it. And I was like, "Really?" And the lady says, "Yeah." And she pulled it up on her phone and she showed it to me. So Jocelyn, and I said, "Jocelyn, you spotted that as we were walking by?" She said, "No, I saw it from way over there." You had to be way far back to actually see what it was when you were up close, because it was almost like a silhouette, and each square was a different color to make this, when you were way far back, look like Johnny Depp. And when you see it in the series of pictures, you'll know that's the one. So then I did buy, there was another, this one, these 2 fat quarters came from Deb. I have to look it up. She did not have a card. She said, I'm pretty sure she said she sells online. I have to look at the map here. It was Deborah's Quilt Basket. So I got this one. I thought it was really cute. It says, "Be yourself, dance to the music, dress up, type it out, safety pins, little black dress, buttons, polka dots, shiny aluminum." The one that caught me, though, was somewhere here. It says pedal to the metal. Pedal to the metal, right there. And the reason that one got my attention was because when I am quilting, sometimes I'll take a picture as I'm getting ready to quilt, and I'll post it online, and I'll say, "Gloves on, shoes off, pedal to the metal, baby." So I had to get that. And then she had these cute little butterflies, ladybugs on black with little white dots. And I thought that those 2 went really cute. And I said, well, I have a white with little red butterflies at home, and I thought that these would all three go together. So this will probably be a quilt, another couch quilt for me. Yeah, I know, like I really need another couch quilt. So that was it from the shops. Now we did also, let me put these away. We went into, of course, the little boutique that the guild has, you know, because I like to support the local guilds. And we did go into their boutique. Sorry, my back is to you. And I picked up this little bag of Star Wars scraps. So I figured I could find something here in my stash to go with it. And I'm pretty sure I actually have black with all these colored dots in it that would go like this part that would go with it. So it was a couple of squares like this, a couple of these triangles with the red, half square triangles with the red, and then two solid squares of this. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it, but it was $1, and I figured I could throw it together into something that would make a good donation quilt. So that's it for that. Then, still in the guild, this is the guild that does a big kiddie pool full of scraps. And all day long, as the level goes down, they come and they dump more scraps in, and they dump more scraps in, and they dump more scraps in. So Jocelyn and I hit that, and they had small bags for $2. And then they had, let's see if I can show you this one, because this one ripped open, bigger bags for $3. And then they did bring out, while we were doing this, another bigger bag for $5. But to be honest with you, it didn't look that much bigger than this one. It had handles on it. It was more like a gift bag, but it was brown. But it only was like this high, but it was wider. So I thought it looked about the same size. And I already had one of these already full. So I did a $3 bag. And Jocelyn did a $2, and I did a $2 bag. And Jocelyn did a $3 and a $2 bag. Now, my bag popped open while I was filling it. And I felt kind of guilty about that, but I didn't want to grab another bag because that would have been silly. I would have had to grab another bag. So Jocelyn's had ripped at the top a little bit too. So when we got up there, I said, just charge me a couple dollars more for the over that we went, because again, it supports the guild. So Jocelyn, as soon as we got home yesterday, she went through her bags and she sorted her scraps. She had quilts in mind as she was sorting. She had things that she was looking for. So these are sorted. However she's going to put them together, I don't know. We're just going to do some scrap quilts. Let me get those out of the way. But I have not sorted through mine yet because I wanted to show you the bags. Now, I'm not going to do that now. That'll be in another video. But I had no rhyme or reason. I just grabbed things that I liked. There were a few things that I said, oh, those will go together. But I just grabbed what I like. Now, some of these were small scraps. I mean, that's, you know, that's 2 there, but that's the size of those. We did grab a bunch of strips. We've already sorted out most of the strips. There was a lot of batiks. They did bring some extra fabric out while we were going through. And it was a big bag, huge bag. And there was a lot of batiks in that. So I did grab a bunch of batiks. I'll sort those out together. But some of the scraps were pretty good size. Like this is probably a half of a quarter of a yard. And then there's some more batiks. But some of them were, oh, like this one. This is down both selvages. So this was probably the edges of a backing. And it's a pretty good sized piece of blue with little hearts on it. So some of them were good sized. Some of them were teeny tiny. You know, it's just whatever scraps they had donated. I did have a couple of like these little blocks that I grabbed that I thought I could use for something. I could put them together into a 4-patch and use them, you know, put another color blue on the 2 corners and use those like that. There were these, and I thought these were just little edge strips, but they're actually folded in 3. There's a whole bunch of them, and they look like squares to me. I haven't sorted through them enough, but there was a whole bunch of these. There was a whole stack of them. I had grabbed them and shoved them in my box. Now see, like this one is just folded in half. This was an edge, a fold. And then this one is folded in 3. So it was just a bunch of little batik squares that I thought I would do something with. We'll see. I am going to try to put some of those together into some inserts for bell bottoms and list just the inserts on my Etsy page. It's too hard to sell jeans. Once I put the jeans together, then they have to fit somebody. I can list just the inserts on my Etsy page, and if they sew, they can buy the insert and I can ship the insert to them, or if they don't sew, they can send me their jeans, and for a little bit more, I'll put the insert in and send it back. So that's it for our haul for this show. I tried not to go too crazy because I do have QuiltCon coming up this weekend, and then next weekend there is another local quilt show here, and then we've got the one in Lakeland in March, and there's another one in Nokomis in March, and I don't know if it's the same weekend as the one in Lakeland, so I'm not sure I'll be going to that one, but I do know I have QuiltCon plus 2 more quilt shows that I plan on going to. So I didn't want to go too overboard on the first one. We had a great time. I love taking Jocelyn to those with me. She was totally thrilled when I asked her if she wanted to go. And I'm going to wrap this part of the video up. The pictures of the quilts that we took will be coming up. And like I said, it was just a few that we thought we really liked. So that's going to be it for me. Stay tuned for the pictures, and we'll see you on the next one.